Hey everybody, it's Buzz. Today I'm doing a bit of a impromptu video because I just finished reading Goodbye Eri. At the time of this recording, newest one-shot by Tatsuki Fujimoto. And this volume really brought up a lot of emotions in me, and I really just kind of wanted to talk about it a second and get some things off my chest. Like normal, I'll give you a quick rundown of what this is. Yuta Ito receives a smartphone for his birthday. Shortly after opening his present, Yuta's terminally ill mother assigns him the task of filming her and compiling a movie about her in the event of her death. After she passes away, Yuta premieres the movie at his school, but is met with heavy derision over the decision to have him end the film by running away from an exploding hospital. Bullied and ostracized, Yuta decides to commit word I can't say on YouTube by jumping from the roof of his mother's hospital. He's stopped by a girl named Eri, who reveals she actually loved his movie and urges him to make another one. Two work together to bring this to fruition, alternating between production and marathoning various movies for inspiration and education. So, that's how this manga begins. And right at the very start of this, well, for me it was very emotionally heavy. As some of you guys know, my mother passed away in 2020, and whenever I read manga that have like the dead mother trope or something in it, it's usually really fake, and it just feels like they're trying to guess at what people feel when a parent passes away. And this is one of those times where it felt very real. Much like Look Back, this is a manga that really makes me think someone close to Fujimoto in real life probably passed away, because I've never felt the emotions of death in a manga as strongly as this. Especially right at the beginning, there's a scene where Yuta is recording his mother sleeping, and he says, "I want to record if she passes in her sleep." And that just reminds me of the times when my mother's health was really poor, and she wouldn't wake up in the morning, and I would worry if something happened to her. This manga really, is very striking to me, to be honest. There's another scene very early on in this, shows Yuta, working on his movie and being kind of in disbelief of what happened, where he's like, "I'm not even sad about it. Wait a minute. Yeah, I am sad." And seeming like he's kind of faking it to himself. And that just feels too real. Going through the stages of grief is never really something that you see in manga, and shown so subtly in this is very real. Very, very, very real feeling. Yuta got into filming and wanting to make a movie about his mother's passing because his mom asked him to. When it happened to me, when mine passed, I started this YouTube channel doing manga content in 2020 because I just wanted a distraction. I liked video editing a lot, and I knew that it would take a lot of work to make manga content, and I just wanted to distract my brain. I just wanted to have something which would take my attention away, so I couldn't think about what actually happened in real life. And that's why I started this channel. That's why I do manga content, is because to me it was only a distraction. I just wanted to keep my mind off stuff by working. By when I was home and not at work, I wanted to continue to work on something that would take my attention away from my grief. And you kind of see you to think that same way with making the movie. This volume really made me cry multiple times reading it. Anyways, going back to the rest of the plot of this series, Yuta continues watching movies and making his movie with Eri, his new friend. This constantly keeps switching back and forth between scenes that they're filming and their real life, and the line kind of blurs, and you're not actually told what is part of the film and what is actually happening to these characters in their real life. This volume kind of plays with your head a little bit, because you kind of have to piece together what's really going on, are they actually acting in this? In these pages, are they actually acting, or is it actually stuff that's happening to them? So as a lot of people would guess, just based off the title, it being Goodbye Eri, Eri is also dying of an illness not really described in this, and she wanted to finish the film before she died, and so they incorporate parts of their real life and kind of make their movie an autobiography of sorts, with some fictitious elements. So the original plot of wanting to make a movie of someone and capture their final moments before they pass kind of happens a second time in this. Honestly, I kind of don't know what to say. This was probably the most emotional read I've ever had, and I think this one-shot touched me on a very emotional and personal level. I know it did for a lot of people. I loved every minute of this volume, and I don't know if I want to say this is better than Look Back, but I also appreciate that Look Back is a little bit lighter. It's not such a sad read. It's a little bit lighter, and I appreciate that about Look Back. But yeah, this is definitely one of Tatsuki Fujimoto's best works, and it's pretty much perfect. So, basically like a 10 out of 10 perfect volume. There really is not anything wrong. There's pretty much nothing here that I could possibly criticize. The paneling and artwork is absolutely wonderful. I mean, it's Tatsuki Fujimoto is so good at this point from all the work that he's done. I mean, truly a master, and the art is just wonderful. Another interesting thing is this series follows a very straightforward paneling system. So it's really a 4-panel manga, but it doesn't really feel like a 4-panel manga because the flow of each panel is so perfect. It's like in a lot of 4-panel mangas, there's a lot of talking and then like huge jumps between the panels. And in this volume, it's kind of the exact opposite. There's not a lot of talking, and it's mostly shown. This is very much a show rather than tell manga, and it very much relies on its artwork to convey things. The characters' emotions are super subtle, but, beautifully drawn. A lot of the panels in this manga are shown from the perspective of a handheld camera, so they're like shaky, but they like look realistically shaky. It's very, very well done. The characters are great. All of the characters feel extremely realistic, except for Eri, who feels like a bit of a more traditional Tatsuki Fujimoto character, and not necessarily like a super realistic person. But it's fine because it really brings contrast to all the other characters. Honestly, like I can't recommend this manga enough, and yeah, that's about it.